3 for 5 at 1 Youngster is recorded live in front of a mythical audience.
Yo, yeah. 3 for 5 at 1 Youngster. And you know what's going down. It's me and my girl Lisa.
Hey.
Alright, check it. The question here is, are you comfortable as a man supporting her, your lady, financially, and why? Now, me, I'd have to say I'm completely comfortable with that. I grew up, I was raised to kind of like, take care of your lady, take care of the house, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that your lady has it easy, that she doesn't have to like struggle in all that mess. And you take care of the bills and stuff, so she can like, relax and have an easier time and don't have to have like all the struggle and strife. Because I was raised that, the men go out and they do all the struggling for the family so the rest of the family can, have a smooth time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we go out and try to make it so, make it doing the tough stuff so, the family can be safe. But Lisa, how do you feel? Do you feel comfortable with a man supporting you? And if so, why or why not?
It's a struggle for me. Because I've always worked. You know what I mean? Since I was 16, I've been working, and it's a struggle because it's like you have to learn to let go, and I don't want to say it's a trust issue, but in all honesty it kind of is, because it's like if you've depended on yourself and you know what money's coming in because you made it, you see your paycheck, versus you're dependent on your man and you just have to trust that money's coming in, and you have to trust that there's going to be enough money, and it's that whole thing of, depending on how the money's set up, you have to kind of go to him and ask for something and say, is it cool, is it okay? So it's a whole lot that goes into that. You have to kind of put your pride aside. You have to have more trust. You have to be a little more understanding, and but I know for me, if it was a thing of I'm just gonna stay at home, that kind of thing, and you work, I gotta have something to do with myself. I gotta do something, or I'm just gonna lose it.
Well, I don't. Just because a man is supporting a woman financially doesn't mean, I guess, in my opinion, that the woman doesn't have to work. If the woman wants to work, that's fine. I just feel that like the tougher stuff, like the responsibility of the household should be on the man, like not on the woman. You know what I'm saying? Or, the kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like as a family, like the dad, you know what I'm saying, the man should be, taking care of that. That doesn't mean that the woman can't work. You know what I'm saying? She can do, work, whatever, capacity she wants. Like, if she wants to work at a store or a bank or whatever. When you say
take care of her financially, that insinuates that she's not working. Because that means you're taking care of her financially. If she's working, then she's taking care of herself partially financially.
Well, no, what I mean by taking care of, I mean like, like the rent, the bills, the mortgage, whatever, like all of that stuff is like handled. Like if the woman's working, like it's cool, but she doesn't have to worry about the stress and the responsibility of like the bills of the home, because those are already taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Like she ain't got to worry about the power bill or the hot water or or the the gas or whatever the case may be, soap or drawers or something. You know what I'm saying? Man got that. You know what I'm saying? Got that on lock.
Cool. And I think too, I think it's also it's cool as long as he doesn't have a big ego, and because some men will constantly remind you, this is what I do and I pay for this, and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, if it's gonna be all that, then just never mind. So it it has to be humility on both sides.
Word up. I feel you. So men out there, if you taking care of the one you love, show her that love by being humble, by being caring, compassionate.
Always had a house cold. You don't want to turn the heat up if you're talking about The reveal happened.
Anyway, peace out. Let's jump into the next segment, which will be movie tropes that we all hate. I might not be able to touch on every single one, but we're going to go in and kind of like, I guess, go in and lay out a couple of these that we continually see and just like, they kill me, man. They kill me. All right, here we go. The first trope in movies or TV or whatever is like the reveal shot. I call it the reveal shot. I'm not sure if that's what the technical term is, but all right, say someone is infiltrating, like the underground layer or the bad guy's camp, and they have to dress in like the army suit or whatever it is, and they always have to like take off their mask to like let the viewer know it's them. It's like, dude, we know it's you. Like in the scene before, you were talking about how you're about to do this. Like, you don't have to do this for us. Or another thing that they'll do is somebody will like steal something. Like they'll steal like the key card, or there's still like the special access code or something like that. And when like the very next, second you see them turn the corner or whatever, it'll show them like, look at their hand. Like, ooh, I got it. It's like, we know you got it, man. Just go use it. You don't need to do all that. We know you got it. We know you stole it. We're smart enough to understand this. So the reveal shot, it kills me every time. I don't understand why we got to go on and on showing like, ooh, oh, he pulls off the hood and it's him. Or, they show his hand and it's, oh, he stole the key. Or, she pops her head up and is like, oh, she's on the inside. It's like, we know she's on the inside. We don't need that. Then the next thing that like we cannot stand, I cannot stand this, is the whole like you've got to see this. Because whenever it's something you've got to see, it's something that they were going to end up seeing anyway. Whenever it's something like, say, this is a big case on like procedural dramas and like cop shows, stuff like that, when there's like someone comes up to like the detective and they're like, you got to see this. It's like, yo, they're going to see it anyway. They're detectives, man. They're there to detect. All right? They're going to see it. They're going to investigate it. So it's not like it's it's not like something that's like pertinent to something they have to see right this second. So like it kills me that you got to see this, because it's like even in movies, it's like y'all was gonna see this anyway. This would be whatever you're about to show me would have been the natural progression of what I was about to see, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that like we can't stand is the whole like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Like the whole like making sure that people know now that like no one was in danger, or like the extra care that's taken in to like letting people know that like, yeah, this was bad, but it was relatively safe. You know what I'm saying? Like people like, and this one is relatively new because like we've seen it come out a lot since the Man of Steel film, where a lot of people were complaining about the destruction and kind of like the buildings and the people that died and everything, and Superman didn't save them all and this, that, and the third. And it's like, dude, do you know how much destruction goes on in these films? Just because they aren't shown, guess what? People are in those cars, like in Iron Man 2, when like they were flying through that parking lot, and like the robots were like shooting at them and blowing up all them cars. All right, first thing, Nationwide is going to get a whole bunch of calls. State Farm is going to be lit up. Second thing, how do you know someone wasn't in the parking lot, talking on the phone? You know what I'm saying? Or someone wasn't in the parking lot eating some McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Or someone wasn't in the parking lot with their girlfriend in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? Tons of people could have died from that. People die like all the time from all kinds of destruction and things like that. But then after Man of Steel, it seems like they have to make sure, like, you had Avengers 2 and they had to make everybody gets out of here, even the dog. It's like, come on, man, really? Let's be honest. We all love dogs. Dogs are cool, but dogs have their place. All right? If something was going down of that magnitude where they was lifting up your whole city about to drop it, ain't nobody looking for Fido. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Peace. This one is another one for my creators out there, for my tech folks out there making things look beautiful and wonderful all over the world. Don't get hung up on your tech. Don't get hung up on what people are using. Don't get hung up on this whole gear snobbery. Yeah, that's mine. I made that up. And what I mean by gear snobbery is like, oh, well, I have this camera, so apparently the product that I create is better than yours because I have this camera, or I'm using this set of Copic markers, or I'm using this pencil, or I'm using this pen, or I'm using this computer, or I've got this program. Look, guys, when you're creating, you have to find a workflow. And this is more for people that are like just starting to get their footing on their style. Like, do and find a workflow that is comfortable for you, because you're going to be able to create best when you're comfortable. So, like, say for instance, there's this big thing about mirror or mirrorless and cameras or whatever. If you love Nikon or if you love Canon, then love Canon. You know what I'm saying? Just use Canon. You don't have to be like, well, the industry standard is a Nikon, or it's a Pentax, or it's a Panasonic. Look, use what you're comfortable with, because what you're comfortable with is going to be able to help you excel, because you're not worrying about, oh, I don't know how to do it in this program, or I don't know how to do it with this piece of software or this piece of hardware. You'll be able to easily function because you won't have to worry about a learning curve. The only thing you'll have to worry about is just creating dope stuff. Now, I know what the internet is going to come with. Like, what do you mean you shouldn't be? No, of course you should learn. When you master something, cool. Grab on something new and learn and tweak and figure out how to use that. So say you got Canons down and you can learn how to use Nikons, or say you got Photoshop down. All right, say let's start playing with Illustrator a little bit, or let's start playing with InDesign a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or say you got drawing traditionally down, but you want to learn digital matte painting. Start playing with that, but don't completely leave one for the other. If you have something that works for you and you're really, really dope with it, then don't worry about what everybody else is using. For instance, I've used Apple, I've used PC, I've used Linux, and I've excelled in all of them. I don't have an issue with either of them, because in all honesty, drawing is drawing, or Photoshop is Photoshop. Now, of course, Linux doesn't have Adobe Pro, but like say, Photoshop is the same in Mac and PC. Now, of course, it looks slightly different and stuff like that, but I can do the same menu functions, so don't get hung up with, oh, well, my computer's not good enough, or, oh, I don't have the technology, or I don't have the money. Like, I think, and I can't remember, I think it was a young lady that posted up this amazing drawing and this amazing coloring that she did with it. And she did it with those them like Crayola markers that we used to use like in elementary school. And like people were like, and she even showed the comments where people were like, oh, what kind of Copic markers are you using? And like, yo, I did this with Crayolas. Like, yo, it's like a tool. I think we've gotten into a role where tools have been started to be mistaken for talent, and tools will never overtake talent. You know what I'm saying? Because you can learn a tool, you can't learn talent. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you've got the talent, don't worry about the tools. Use what's comfortable for you. You know what I'm saying? And then just like let it grow from there. Don't spend your time chasing after people or chasing after some, new technology or whatever, because even right now I'm using, I'm using a what is it? Like a T2115 or whatever. It's like this old. Toshiba Fujitsu, like tablet drawing laptop. This joint is old as dirt, but I'm drawing with it just fine. I'm about to do Analog Girls with it. I'm doing a children's storybook with it right now. Now, of course, somebody would be like, oh, well, you have to have a Cintiq 24. You don't have to have that, man. Anything that you can draw digitally on will work. Now, of course, it might not be as fast. Sometimes it lags when I paint and stuff like that. But you got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying, to make it work. I could either use that as a crutch, or I could use that to excel and be like, I'll use this until I can get something better. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there and you're worrying about, I don't have the tech, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, don't worry. You might be able to borrow microphones from someone, or rent microphones or whatever, or if it's software, you might be able to get a student discount, or maybe somebody has an extra license from a job or something. Like, there's always a way to be able to get the things that you need to work instead of worrying about what you don't have. So, on the real, y'all stay up. Much love for y'all. I just want y'all creatives to stay confident and sure of yourselves when you're creating, instead of worrying about a deficit of tools. All right, kids. Peace.
3 for 5 at 1 Youngster is brought to you by A Full Tang Design. Also sponsored in part by Naswip and Xrifo. Sweet doo dee doo dee doo dee, sweet dee dee dee.